just get these apps from in front. All right. Yo, I have been using the Vision Pro for the past 3 days, and oh my God, I love this thing so much. I'm gonna say it, the future of technology for consumers is changing, and it's changing now with this. There's so much I wanna talk about with this headset, but I wanna think about times before computers, or think about times before cell phones. Think about that first computer that came out. Think about the cell phone when that came out. How much that has changed from the time that that was introduced to where we are today now. We cannot live without our cell phones. We can't live without our computers. Our lives, our income, our daily everything relies on computers. And I'm starting to become a believer as to why this thing right here is the turning point for the next shift in technology. One that we can control with our eyes and our hands. Should I get the Vision Pro? Now that's becoming a common question in my messages. People are asking why they should get it. Do they need to get it? What difference has it made in my life? And well, after spending a few days with its initial phase of it, I think I got some thoughts. I'm gonna break this video down into 3 separate parts, and I'm gonna start with productivity. Now, Apple's marketing is terming this as spatial computing. But what does that mean to you, to me, the average consumer? At some point, a person's gonna own a computer. Now, if that's a desktop or a tablet or even a cell phone. Now, if you take what you're seeing and doing in the palm of your hand and you just bring that out into reality, this space, your environment, how can that change our daily life and our activities that we do, that we already can't do in the palm of our hands? All right, let's just say that we're at the office right now. We're at my workstation and I need to be a little productive. Well, let's head into our apps here. We're gonna go into our notes. We're gonna continue working on my topics for this video here. But as you can see, we're not being very productive. Just got a DM on the IG. Well, you know what, I don't know if I grab my phone because we got first world problems. So we're gonna head over to Safari since there's no Instagram app. And we're gonna head over into Instagram here. We'll put Instagram right there. There we go. So we could do that right there at the same time. But I'm not being very productive, kind of having a little writer's block. So I feel like I need to get some inspiration. Let's head over to YouTube and see some videos. So we'll just open up a new window and we'll probably put that right about here. Go into YouTube, make this just a tad smaller here and see what's going on with the good old YouTube today. Oh, iFixit did a teardown of it. That's gonna be interesting to watch.
Welcome to.
So while that video's playing, we can make that a little smaller there. That looks pretty cool. Video's playing, I wanna get back to my note. I'm getting some inspiration all of a sudden. So your eyes are the cursor. You're gonna look exactly where you wanna go. Keyboard pops up to you. Bam, and you can readjust this keyboard depending on how big and small you want it to be. So I can make it bigger, I can make it smaller. Awesome. Your fingers, as you hover, it'll let you know exactly where you're gonna click. And that's all calibrated with this setup here. So you can type along here. Of course, you're not feeling any feedback, but you're hearing it. So you don't really know that you're clicking it, but you're clicking it just based on the buttons actually look like they're getting pressed in here. Just like cell phones, when we first learned how to be able to type on a screen from the buttons that we were used to physically feeling. Big difference there, but it's a learning curve and eventually we learn. Or you could just do what we all do nowadays. I don't know what I'm going to put next, and you could do it that way. Or if you want to keep it traditional, you could just get yourself a keyboard and a mouse or trackpad in my case here. And what we're gonna do is head over to the settings. We're gonna go to Bluetooth, and we're going to connect these devices here. And as you can see, it's blowing on there. Get my trackpad and get the Magic Keyboard. And once that's connected, we're now able to see, as you move your fingers, mouse will pop up there. This is just like the iPad. If you have an iPad and you have a tracker, it's exactly what it looks like there. So you can go right over where you want to go. Let's just say we're gonna get rid of this keyboard because we're gonna be using this here, and we can type. And as you type, this pops up, which is awesome. And as you move your keyboard, this follows you. So you can just type as you're going. I love this thing. And you can type and hit this as well, as if you're gonna do your corrections or your continuation of your text. That's awesome. Talk about being productive. Now you can even take this a step further. And let's just say that you wanna be a little more productive here. Bring out your computer. You're prompted with this, you can connect. And when you connect to it, you make a virtual screen of your computer here. And you literally have a whole desktop monitor right there. The only issue is that it only works with one monitor, so don't try to get crazy and put a whole crap load of them up because it's not gonna work that way. So far, it's only capable of only doing one monitor at this moment. One caveat is that you can't use any gestures other than moving the window around. You actually have to use the physical keyboard to be able to control this, but it's okay. I really need to finish that video. Let's say you're working on your notes here, but you're feeling a little stage fright and you want to actually practice this presentation. Well, let's go over to the Steve Jobs Theater over here and let's just start rehearsal. How awesome is this? There's my presentation. Oh, I can even point to the topics I'm talking to. Now for your workflow and productivity with this, endless. This could be so revolutionary. This could be such a huge change. And it's all because of my next point, Apple's ecosystem. Apple's ecosystem is so seamless that once you're locked in, it's damn near impossible to get out. From all your accounts and iMessage and photos carrying across each device to looking over from one monitor to the next, and your AirPods are registering, playing the sound between the devices that you're using. Look at the Apple Watch. It's the most popular watch and it's integrated into our daily life. I mean, to even now, how we're able to record on this headset and then send it to any other device, that's insane. It's that ecosystem. Now, I would mention Siri, but you know how hit or miss she is. But at least she has this nice cool orb effect. That's pretty dope because it's a part of products that are already used by the daily mass. Now, I don't necessarily see this like a solution, like the introduction to the very first iPhone, where it took the internet, it took your cell phone, and it took the iPod and integrated it all into one. I think this is more bettering that ecosystem, one that takes things from your hands and puts it through your vision, no pun intended. Just imagine, these get smaller, Apple glasses per se. You're just wearing regular glasses and you're able to do the same things that you're able to do with this, but as technology gets better. Hell, even think about contacts, like in the movies. They're slipping on the contacts and they're able to see everything digitalized in their peripherals. Augmented reality that way. How cool would that be? But no matter how good a device is, it's nothing without good apps. Could you imagine if you're able to play your games on here? What if you could play Mario on the move? FBI, open up! Now, before you guys get into the comments about apps, this is a first-gen product. Think about the iPhone when it first came out and the limited availability with apps. You can even move any icons around. The watch, again, the same thing, limited apps. The iPad, that first came out and they were using iPhone apps in the iPad that were blown out and there was never any native iPad app. I mean, come on, we just now finally got an Instagram app for iPad. The fact that we're getting such a new technology right now and we're getting a pretty decent start. I mean, come on, I'm outside with my dogs and I'm looking at a jet engine, taking it apart. That's freaking awesome. Just thinking about the possibilities with virtual tours. I mean, there is the Zillow app, but the Zillow app seems to be pretty limited. You're immersed in this, it's a 3D picture, but it feels like you're inside of a painting. Or apps even in the medical field. I'm a nurse and I use the Panda, but maybe there's nurses who've never used the Panda being the warmer for the baby when you're delivering. The fact that we're able to see this 3D render of it and we're walking around it, we could pick apart and just learn about different things about it. If maybe your facility doesn't have one, that's just awesome. I mean, there's so many applications that can be done for teaching, for daily activities, just so much. Look at how far apps have come to change our lives today. I mean, everything that we're doing is on an app. This is on an app. You're watching an app. You click an app to look at an app. Apps are life now. Just the thought of augmented reality apps being the norm, it's just mind-blowing. I'm really excited to see what developers will create. Now, to answer that question, should you get the Vision Pro? Not to be a stretch, but if you want to be a part of something that's going to be revolutionary for our civilization, and if you don't mind these early stages and being labeled as a beta tester, if you can see yourself walking around the house or at work with these ski goggles on, pinching the air, are you up for the challenge to increase your neck strength? Because after a while, this thing is heavy. And most importantly, if you have the $3,500 plus tax, I would say, go for it.